Alright, what is up everyone? The stream, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm going to be reviewing the market. Um, yeah, a lot of interesting price action today. A lot of price action to review, so and I'm going to make the market recap right after this. Probably like an hour stream, maybe less, maybe more, I don't know. But we will just see. We will have to see. So I want to post trade of the day. In my opinion, trade of the day. First of all, let's talk about what happened. All right, we had this 4-hour gap all the way down here, resting below all of these lows, and so the market dips below all those lows into that 4-hour fair value gap, and we get a reaction off of it. So you can see there we go, 4-hour fair value gap. See, we also dip below all these lows. Now, I can't remember if there was SMT at that low or not. I'm going to check real quick. I believe there must have been SMT with something. With YM maybe. Yeah, I actually don't see SMT. So maybe there wasn't SMT. Interesting. But there was low time frame SMT, I know that for sure. So anyway, we dip below all this low resistance, all these low resistance lows, and what happens? We aggressively react back to the upside. So let's draw this out. So bang. Yo, what up, Gary? How's it going? I don't know how long this is gonna be. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, no clue how long this is gonna be. We're just gonna probably like an hour or less or more, but we're gonna. No. I mean, kind of. Like I trade. You know, I'm an aspiring trader. I've gotten payouts. I've gotten funded, but I'm not. I'm not full time. I wouldn't say full time, but I'm still getting better. I'm 2 years in. Yeah. Just whoa, that's dark. But like I was saying, just reviewing the market today. That's the goal though, trade full time. I'd love that. Why does it look different than normal? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We dip below all these lows into this 4-hour gap, and we react off of these lows. That's the point I'm trying to get at. So, screenshot, here we go. So 4-hour aligns with the 15-minute. So I believe I outlined this model right when I got on the stream this morning. Right, 4-hour gap. We swept out all these lows. Specifically, we sweep out equal lows. So with all that in mind, right, we also got S&P. SMT with YM at the low. So going into the morning, I was pretty confident that we actually were going to have a buy model, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Lows, bang. So yeah, you can see equal low sweep into the 4-hour gap. So then what? We get 15-minute change in state right here. Also a 15-minute break of structure and for value gap. Marked both of those out on stream. And so with that in mind, I was anticipating a move up to where? The 4th standard deviation. And also we had SMT at that low. And so you can see I actually, well, I'm not going to pull it up right now. I'll pull it up in the actual video that I make. But 15-minute CSD off of this 4-hour gap, we swept out equal lows. And we got SMT with this, with YM. So 15-minute change state delivery. And so yeah, I was basically at this point I was anticipating us to go up to this 4th standard deviation, which was aligned actually with New York AM high. And so you can see I actually did have this mapped out in the morning in my notes here. See if it'll pop up. So here we had, oh, here's my journal. Right in the morning, I literally showed this exact model where I was saying, anticipating us to go up to that New York AM high, and the reason was, a big reason why was we had this CRT with the AM low, and that gave me bias for the day. And then we just continued up higher to London and Asia past that. So I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this. Right. Notice just how this draw on liquidity was well placed above this AM high. Very nice. So I knew this was a draw on liquidity, and that's where we went. I do think the trade of the day was within here, and I wish I caught it. I just barely missed it. I was so close to catching it. So I'm gonna post trade of the day now. So here's London, and here's Asia. So there we go. Asia, London. So screenshot this. And maybe, so I'll save this 4-hour 15-minute model, and then, you know, here's the bigger version of it. Bang. So giant, you know, giant market maker buy model off of this 4-hour gap. Curious, let's look at stat map. See how stat map was respected, if it was respected. Nothing with, oh, that's the week. We want the day. So, I mean, we almost go to the daily manipulation level, not quite. And daily distribution level was aligned with our draw on liquidity here. So that was kind of cool. So we undershoot the daily manipulation level just a bit. You know, obviously it's just statistics, right? So sometimes you're going to undershoot it, sometimes you're going to overshoot it. But note how the daily distribution level aligns with this high probability draw on liquidity, top of AM, right? So allowed you to have high conviction that that was the draw, especially because of the CRT. Daily distribution level aligns with our high probability draw on liquidity. Very cool. And you know, what's interesting is zooming down to London here. Actually, first let's look into the opening gaps. Hey, what up, Sarij? I don't know if I said your name right. But yeah, we're just reviewing the market today. And then preparing for this market recap. Highly recommend watching the market recap because it's always going to be, you know, the best of the highlights of the day. And I do all the work for you, so you don't have to do anything. But yeah, I'm going to make that in just a bit. But right now, I'm just kind of doing my research first before I talk about the day. You know, one thing I liked here is, and you got a 50% retrace. I did not expect that much either, man. One thing I did expect was this buy model, right? You can see that I definitely saw AM as a draw on liquidity because essentially this was a 1 hour CRT and it was also a 4 hour CRT with AM being the initial candle range, right? We wick below and then close higher. And so my mind immediately when I see that, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to draw up to the other side of this range. So even though it's not one specific candle, it is still a range. This is an obvious, undeniable range. Specifically, it's AM, right? So I knew when we wick 1 hour wick below those lows, you know, I knew we were going to probably draw to AM. So I framed this buy model. And you could see I framed it in the morning before we even got up to that fourth standard deviation. We go and hit it. Did not expect us to keep going, to be honest, at least in the short term, but looks like we did. Did I screenshot everything? Did I screenshot the Asia and London stuff? Let me look. Oh yeah. So yeah, anyway, giant market maker buy model. I'm curious if maybe it was a higher time from key level than a 4 hour gap. Maybe that's why. And I was surprised that I only saw low time frame SMT. I didn't see high time frame SMT. That was another thing that was a little surprising to me, but I might have just missed it possibly. It's very possible that I missed it. But I'm looking at my other screen right now. Whoops. Whoop, that's not it. Yeah, I'm looking at this other screen. And yeah. I'm not seeing any other SMT. Yeah, we were definitely distributing aggressively lower, so I am a little surprised. I'm wondering if there was a daily key level, because there's definitely something interesting about this move higher. So new week opening gap, you could say, you know, this was like a little pocket that we filled. I mean, argue, I don't know, that's debatable, I guess, but it looks like the bodies end up respecting that. And it's a pretty obvious new week opening gap too. So I guess I will draw that out because, it is somewhat relevant, right? It looks like it's a pretty obvious new week opening gap, and we clearly come down and fill it and then respect it. So I think it's worth at least looking at, right? The way we fill this. Actually, I'm going to go like this. So yeah, I'm just preparing for this market recap. Once again, just doing a little bit more research before I make it. Yeah, crazy how much of a retrace we ended up getting. You can see we actually retraced this entire leg, this entire displacement leg back up to premium. It's crazy. So, once again, with these new week opening gaps, I feel like you kind of just have to use common sense when you find an aligned time frame, because a lot of the time the aligned time frames can change. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. Like sometimes a new week opening gap, it'll work with a 15-minute, but maybe it'll work with a 5-minute. You know what I mean? In this case, right, this is probably best with either the 5 or the 15-minute aligned time frame. But also, you could argue that it was also a 4-hour gap that was supporting price. Both of them were supporting price, arguably. See how the bodies kind of fill this thing. So we end up sweeping this, right? So sweep into the new week opening gap with SMT with YM right here. So yeah, you could definitely say this was also a 1 hour, 5-minute model. I'm curious if there's a 1 hour gap. There had to be. Yeah, there's a 1 hour BPR. That's a little bit more precise, actually, now that I think about it. So let's see how well this holds up here. 1 hour BPR. Yeah, that was the exact low. Let's zoom down. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at how perfect that is. That is insane. So, once again, here's that 1 hour BPR. That is insane. Look, that is so precise. So yeah, you could definitely say this is like a 1 hour, 5 minute model as well, backed up by this new week opening gap. 5 minute change day delivery. Very cool. And once again, right, this, to me, in this specific situation, this is more of a, instead of an accumulation range, this is more of a CRT. I mean, I guess, like, accumulation range CRT, even though it's not, like, sideways accumulation, it's like, I don't know, this is still a huge liquidity pool up at the high. So today we specifically used an old session as a drawn liquidity, or as a, yeah, as this was the accumulation range. Even though it's not actually an accumulation range, this was the, this is what was used as accumulation for the day. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you guys, I think you guys get what I'm saying. This was the range that was being targeted for the day, even though it wasn't accumulation. So once again, bang, manipulation into that low of that 1 hour BPR here. New week opening gap backs up price. We get a little inducement of this low here. Nice little inducement. Once again, turtle soup inducement at the change state delivery. It's high probability turtle soup, right? Like I always say. So inducement at the change state delivery, high probability turtle soup. And then we go ahead and expand up to AM high, right? Pretty clean, and this is kind of like our initial consolidation, you could say. So yeah, let's mark out trade of the day, because I think we should get on with it. But yeah, new week opening gap definitely supports price here. Now, in order to get this trade, you'd have to take it in Asia. So, was that BPR from July 2nd? I can go look at it real quick. Anyway, new week opening gap supports price along with 1 hour BPR. Okay, let's go look at the 1 hour BPR. I'm going to switch screens so you can see it a little bit easier. Bang. So 1 hour, essentially what I did is I went back, I said, okay, I was curious if there was a 4 hour gap, and there was a 4 hour gap, but then I was curious if there was a 1 hour gap. And I mean, to me, like, I know this isn't like literally, you know, your typical BPR, but to me, anytime I have a gap like this, I'm considering it a BPR, because I mean, like, yeah, I know that we can technically wick through here, but it's still gonna act like a BPR, like this area between here and here, right? And you can see how perfectly we hit that, because it's just a gap. It's like the paint roller analogy, right? We go down, up, we left this gap, and it gets hit. So yeah, I consider that a BPR, even though it wasn't like your typical BPR. I still consider it BPR. And so yeah, then this was essentially a 2022 model, right? Liquidity sweep. But we gotta look at price action for the rest of the day. I think I already even wrote this down, to be honest. I guess we should mark it out first. So yeah, 1 hour BPR. So, and I'm almost certain that this was in that fair value gap partition. So once again, liquidity sweep, break of structure from measuring out this move from premium to discount. You see we have that fair value gap and discount. So here's our 2022 fair value gap in the middle of the night on the 5-minute chart. So I mean, yeah, it's just the rest is history. Like liquidity sweep, break of structure, fair value gap, and also aligned in the fair value gap partition for extra confluence, right? Let's drag this down. Pretty sure it was in the fair value gap partition. If not, then I'm wrong. Anyway, I want to post trade of the day, so I should probably hurry this up. Oh. Might not be. I actually think it was just on the lower time frame. On the 81. Kind of. Not the most obvious in the world. Okay. Yeah, anyway, 2022 for value gap. And guys, this is what I say when I say, like, the 2022 gap, if you can just catch a good one and then take partials all the way up, you are going to take, you're going to be so set. Like, just one good 2022 model is just all you need. Look at that. Bang, all the way up to AM's highs. There you go. Clean. One good 2022 model will make you bank. That's what I'm trying to get at. Obviously, you scale out, but right. So this was a 5-minute 2022 model in the middle of the night. .22 model at 1805. Then yeah, I want to talk about the trade that I thought was trade of the day. So let's post this on Twitter. We had in my opinion, right, we were expanding up to AM's highs. This was the obvious draw. I wish I got in on this. Unfortunately, I just didn't see it in the moment. But if I did see it in the moment, I would have liked to have taken it. So I'm going to show you exactly what the trade I was thinking was, right? 15-minute. The idea was we had, I believe it was a 15-minute gap. Could be wrong. I think it was 15-minute gap. Yeah. 15-minute for buy gap. Let's just actually just go look at it real quick. I think I wrote it. Oh, it was a 1 hour BPR. That makes more sense. Yeah, it was hard to see in the moment because on first glance you don't see the 1 hour BPR, but then zoom out to the 1 hour, and all of a sudden the 1 hour BPR becomes incredibly obvious. Right, so we have this 1 hour BPR, overlapping bullish and bearish for value gaps, and this aligns with the 5 minute, and you can see how obvious this was, right? 1 hour BPR, it doesn't get simpler than this. 1 hour BPR, I think there was even SMT at the low. Yep, SMT at the low with YM, I think. Actually, yeah, with this low. And then 5 minute change state delivery. You could take either one of these 5 minute change state deliveries, both end up working. So anyway, I'm just gonna copy these because I don't want to have to. One hour, 5 minute model. I guess I need to screenshot it. One hour BPR, 5 minute CSD. And then as well, there was the other one, but I don't know where it went. And this one was the same thing, right? 15 minute 2022 model. I need to go. The annoying thing is I'm not saving these exactly as they're supposed to be saved, but it's okay. Because I'm supposed to save the exact entry time and all that stuff. 15 minute 2022 model. Yeah, I mean, if I had just simply seen this 1 hour BPR, then good chance I would have realized, oh wow, this is accumulation. Manipulation. And also, I think we had, yeah, it was the SMT was at this low, right? Yeah, SMT with YM at this. Oh, it was at this, yeah, okay. SMT was at this low. So you could even take this on the close right here. There's so many ways you can take this same exact trade, right? So first way you could do it is on this 5 minute change state delivery retest. I think this one's the most risky, but you know, maybe you could take this one if you liked it. So let's go ahead and mark this one out. And we do tap OTE of that. I'm not going to go ahead and mark that because it's going to take too long. This one's super crazy because this one actually, not only do we, you know, hit AM's highs, which is insane on R, but we went right from OTE to AM's highs. It doesn't get more perfect than this, guys, right? Man, that's crazy. And see how perfectly this lined up with this? It's beautiful. Okay, so this is the first screenshot I'm going to take. So you could have taken this on a 5 minute change state delivery here. So what time would this be? 7:55. 7:55 flow state retest, 1 hour, 5 minute. And then as well, you could have taken this as flow state retest here, similar thing, right? But instead we retest this change state delivery. Just a little bit more conservative of a trade. And this one, you know, this one would have been the one that I would have this one would have been the one I would have preferred to have take. Unfortunately, you know, I just didn't see it. I did not see this in the moment. Otherwise, I think this would have been very, very nice. But that's okay. And once again, like backtesting OTE, right? So 1 hour BPR, 5 minute change state delivery, backtesting OTE right here. Then you could have even taken this as flow state close. $8.45. Wait, I already put $8.45. That can't be right. I'll just do it. Number 2. Okay. Wonder if there's anyone watching. Oh, my phone's about to die. Oh wow, there's 3 of you watching. It's crazy. You guys can be quiet. Right, and then you could have taken this as a 5 minute change state delivery close. Now, why wouldn't I take this one? Because it's not obvious at all that we're gonna go run liquidity. But this one, okay, it's a little more convincing that we're gonna start drawing up to AM's highs. I would not take this one. This one's not obvious. But this one, much more obvious. So I would take this one. So I'm going to even make a note of that here. Like, I would never take that, especially on a close. The first one, right? That's just not even, like, that doesn't even feel like it's a valid change to delivery. I don't even think I don't even know if it is. CSD, the first one. But then this one, right, 5 minute change to delivery close here, this one actually is beautiful, genuinely beautiful. And you wouldn't even have to have stop loss at, you know, at the low. You could just, you could have stop loss there, and this would have worked out pretty well. So flow state close, 820. And the key is to have the bias right with this, because if you don't know where we're drawing, you're never gonna know to take a long here. But because I knew about the CRT and I knew about the higher time frame buy model, I'd be able to take a long here because I would know that we're drawing up to AM high. Like, if I didn't understand that higher time frame model that I already framed, then I would never know to take this long. But because I know that we're in the higher time frame buy model, then I can take this long. That's the difference, right? That's why I'm not shorting, because I know that the bias is bullish. So, I mean, then, you know, as well, you could have taken a trade off of this 5 minute gap. Now, this couple different 5 minute gaps, right? And this is the cool thing about 5 minute gaps when you're expanding that I always say is 5 minute gaps on the lower time frame when you're expanding will offer really, really nice opportunities for flow state on the 30-second. So I'm curious if both of these have their own respective flow states, right? And I should probably look for inverse value gaps. I think I already looked at that one. Yeah, here we go. 30-second change to delivery here. And also, you know, pretty obvious 2022 gap here. We're getting displacement. We break above a high. So break of structure, 2022 gap on the 30-second. So overlapping models once again. It's 2022 30-second change to delivery. And yeah, we run up to that 4th standard deviation. I think we even run up to the 8th standard deviation. Yep. I mean, just imagine just getting one of these trades, guys. This is all I'm saying. Is the power of just getting one good trade is insane. See how perfectly we hit that 4th standard deviation too? So cool. So, I mean, there's always opportunities. It's just like, you know, the issue is spotting them in real time. I know, you know, it's so much easier to look at it after and say, oh yeah, all these opportunities were here, because they are here. It's just, can you actually get to the point where you can recognize them in real time? And that's the hard part, in my opinion. But this is also nice because we're delivering from a gap here. I guess actually I already drew that out. It's obvious. Yeah. So 818, both 2022. Both 2022 and flow state retest, 5 minute, 30 second, and 30 second. I wonder if there's any inverse for value gaps. I want to look at other things, right? And then I should probably film the market recap so we can get on with that. I mean, once again, look at this displacement. Look at how we get this displacement break of structure right here. 816, bang. Very obvious we're expanding higher. Unfortunately, this was before I got on the charts. And I feel like there was, by the time I got on the charts, it was 8:30. And through here, the only opportunity was that 5 minute change state delivery retest. And, you know, I just didn't see that, right? But we do retest that change to delivery. And then I guess there might have been a 30-second change to delivery off this 5 minute gap. But the thing about this one is the other one was nicer because it was in discount. This one, if I measure this leg up, I don't even think it's in discount. Yeah, it's in premium. So, but I mean, it genuinely is, you know, it's just a matter of can you spot the trades sometimes. But we were definitely drawing higher. Let's look at some more things. Maybe I should look at Twitter. I guess this was a 3 minute inverse value gap. Actually, yeah, let's look at Twitter and then I'll look at like London session or something and then I'll film. Probably took me plus. Okay, we wanna find the actual trades. Let's scroll through pretty fast. None of this I'd ever take. None of that. I don't like any of this. I mean, I know most of it's not even trades. Yo, random guy, what up? It's like sometimes Twitter is just useless. Like I'm genuinely looking for trades, and no one posted anything today. Nice, man. Yep, just preparing for this market recap here, and then about to film. Yeah, man, this is why sometimes, like, I know I don't want to get tunnel vision, but sometimes I go on Twitter and there's literally just nothing. Like today, for instance, there's literally nothing. I mean, this is yesterday. So, let's just keep looking at the market for ourselves. And, bro, he's always saying that word. Anyway, let's just keep reviewing the market for ourselves, because I think there's a lot of value in that, personally. I mean, yeah, Twitter helps, but at the end of the day, reviewing the market for yourself is going to be, in my opinion, the strongest way to review the market. No one else is clicking that buy or sell button for you. So, yeah, I mean, the trade of the day was off this 1 hour for value gap, in my opinion, because you had to know we were expanding higher. And then, there might have been a trade in the London session. I actually do kind of want to look at it, just because I already feel like I looked at most of AM. But I actually do think there was opportunity in London because, same thing, right? We already knew we're in a higher time frame buy model because 5-minute chain stay delivery, drawing towards AM high. So then London, we drop down into London here. And if I pull up the London stat map, this is kind of interesting. London stat map, we go from the London statistical manipulation level to the London statistical distribution level. And why is that helpful? Well, we knew that we were drawing up. We knew we were drawing towards this high because we were within a higher time frame buy model. So you could definitely use this as a confluence. So London M plus, London D plus. Not used to seeing London say green, be the color green. So, and then dropping down lower time frame. Let's see if there was SMT at that low, because what I'm thinking right here essentially is accumulation. Right? Very obvious accumulation range. And then I believe it was SMT with like this low or something. It's a very subtle SMT, but I think it happened. Yeah, with 2210. Oh, maybe not 2210. Was it 2150? Lower low. No, I'm not seeing SMT actually, but still, this is very obvious accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And within here, what key levels do we have? I mean, there's a 15-minute volume imbalance. I kind of like a trade off of that volume imbalance, to be honest. And we sweep out equal lows, too. So we sweep out equal lows. That's another nice thing about this. Hey, what up, Javier? How's it going, man? Just preparing for this market recap. I'm taking a look at London. I know I don't normally take a look at London, but I don't know. Just I mostly looked at New York, so I'm just looking at London real quick. All right, so manipulation of this low. So accumulation, manipulation. We basically perfectly sweep these equal lows. And I think I would use, I know this volume balance is very subtle, but I actually think it is pretty significant here. 15-minute volume balance. We can take this volume balance and use it as a PD array. $50-minute volume balance. Drop down to the 1 minute. What do we get here? Right, we end up getting 1 minute change state delivery right there, pretty clearly. So actually, let's draw this out a little better. Look at how the bodies, look at how we respect this, guys. I mean, genuinely, it's just so perfect. I can't get over how perfect the market is. What the heck? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so we're doing a 15-minute volume balance. Sweep. And then 1 minute change state delivery happens right there. And to be honest, this is one that's so clean, you could probably enter on the close and get away with it. Then again, if you wanted to take the retest, you could. You just probably would not get filled unless you entered on the retest of the wick. I'd probably just enter on the close. So I'd go like this. Enter on the close, because we got good liquidity above. It's obvious that we've been accumulating this whole time. We had a good sweep. Now, maybe you don't enter on the close. It's just kind of, I don't know. I guess it's personal preference, but measuring these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. So this goes to show, like, all you gotta do is be super, super locked in, and you can take these trades. But it's just like, the problem is I'm not always, you know, as locked in as I want to be. It's just unfortunate. I wish I was perfect. I really do. Anyway, that would be 4.5 to 1. See, this is why I scale out, right? Because if I just have one winner like this, it covers my losses for like 4 days, 5 days. And that's huge. Just one good winner like this, and it covers my losses for 5 days. I mean, well, I guess technically not really, because I'm scaling out, but you know what I mean. But this is one of the best, you know, type of trades where the market's been moving sideways for so long, and then it finally sweeps out the lows into a key level, and then change the delivery after, right? Those are the best kind of trades. So I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that. Probably ready to film the market recap. Maybe look a little bit more. I mean, I just want it to be good. I don't want it to suck. I wish I could, you know, do this earlier in the day, but I literally can't. So 242. Flow state, close, 15-minute, 1 minute. And also, pretty sure this is 2022 model as well. see if it was on the 2 minute or maybe the 3 minute. Right, liquidity sweep. Pretty clear liquidity sweep. We hit London stat map. So yeah, this was a 2022 model, and specifically, it's right here, liquidity sweep. So this is how you would have traded London today. Is liquidity sweep, break of this high here, also inversion of this fair value gap, and then fair value gap right here. And the nice thing about this fair value gap is, you could actually have your stop pretty decently tight, right? You could even have stop loss here. And same thing, up to that 4th standard deviation, this is really nice risk reward. So, I mean, maybe you want to have stop a little bit lower. That's fine, but you don't need to. You could have your stop loss probably go here. I don't know. It's a little aggressive, but hey. Sometimes you just have conviction. That's 5-1. That's pretty cool. Because, once again, right, when we break structure and we got that aggressive sweep, I'm expecting aggressive expansion. Not some, weak expansion, but aggressive expansion. So this is a 2022 model, 3 minute. At 3 o'clock. And then, yeah, same kind of thing that happened after this. Sure, could you have taken this inversion? Yeah, but you definitely have to go break even at this high, and then probably get break even. This one actually kind of works, but let me think. I guess you just have to take profit at this high. But there's nothing super wrong about this inversion here, especially because we get a nice pop off the low, delivering from a fair value gap. Inversions are sometimes, they're very short trades sometimes, and that's okay. Kind of want to look at PM session as well. Oh, we should look at the first percent for value gap. Let's do that. All right, sounds good. Sorry, this is taking so long, but hopefully the market recap will cover everything. So, see you later, man. Peace out. I mean, notice how the inversions that happen, after this first one kind of failed are always going to be better. I mean, this isn't really fail, right? Because it's definitely break even, but we definitely don't continue higher. So 8:15. Once again, before I get on the charts, so it kind of sucks because I definitely could not have taken that, but And I wonder, there might have even been a higher time frame gap. Nope, there wasn't. But yeah, like I said, guys, it's just kind of tricky because through in between 8:30 and when we start to expand, the only really good opportunity was that 5-minute chain stay delivery retest that I saw, and I don't feel like it was that easy to catch that if I didn't have the 1 hour BPR spotted. Let's see if anyone's watching. Yeah, no one's watching. Yeah, I think I should just film this. I mean, it was just a very simple day, just one direction, expansion towards the highs. And then at this point, at 10 a.m., I'm not looking at the charts anymore because we hit our drawn liquidity. It's just that simple. Maybe there was a higher time frame trade. Right, we inverse this 1 hour gap. Maybe that could help you for bias, but it's not super obvious to me. It's definitely slow, choppy, move higher. And then this 15-minute for value gap I don't like because it's in premium, but it probably ends up providing a flow state. Looks like it does here. 4th. So that one ends up working. Maybe you want to take that because maybe there's some other confluence. Let's look at macros, and then I'll probably just move on for the day. Right, notice the expansion here from 920 to 940. These 920 940 macros, people, a lot of people sleep on them. But yeah, the key was to notice that 5-minute change state delivery off of that 1 hour BPR and understand the higher time frame was bullish. And there's opportunities all through here, but it's not easy to see them. I mean, this is a 1 minute inverse for value gap. I don't know, it's not something I would take probably because we close above the high, so it's not really valid. Okay, I think I'm going to film this video. I'm going to go ahead and do it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.